Uh, yep.
No, I totally forgot how the fanfare from Star Wars goes.
The actual song.
Well, like the term fanfare in music.
I've heard it.
That's the first bit before it goes into the dun 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 blah 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 now.
Oh, right.
Right. So it's a dun dun dun. It's the fuzzy bullshit. Twinkly stars. That should be our new intro because I like getting sued and being unoriginal.
Wow, we've already blasted
back
Disney
to do
multiple
for
times.
Sharpening.
Yeah, they're gonna be all over
us. That's what they call it, right? When they re-release a movie, Redux.
We're also gonna be sued for the title of season 2. Which, of course, there's only one option for that.
Do for You'll Sharpening 2. All right, we won't say it then. We're gonna find out later. Pause.
Yeah, you'll find out.
Mr. Script Button over here wrote it down in the chat.
Right.
If you read the fine print,
see that
afterwards too, you'll understand this inside bit about the script button thing. Read the fine print on the website, and you'll have to wait for the VIP room to find out the website address. And in order to get into the VIP room, man, you don't even want to know what you have to do.
There's a dude. He'll show up at your house.
You can fly,
and
man.
Be like, you want to get on that website?
It's a hockey.
The fuck are we talking about?
The first time the word hockey was mentioned in this.
Yeah, right.
Season 2.
Electric Boogaloo. Yeah. There it is.
Season 2, Electric Boogaloo. It's a hockey cast. It's a hockey podcast. And much like a shitty team, we didn't get our first shot on goal till like 10 minutes in.
10 minutes in.
Yeah.
And we can only go up from here.
Mm-hmm. And it's like my house where
like they have the
blow the
pads horn between the blue lines.
And they blow the horn to change lines.
Right.
There's no changing on the fly when they're like super little kids.
Completely stop the play.
Yep.
Stumble back to the bench.
Stan! Shoot it! Shoot it, Stan! Yeah. Shooting is a thing we do in hockey. And here's your segue.
Yeah.
No, how's everything been going? I have other stuff.
Good.
The boat to use.
It's just, busy doing guitar things, and actually made my second check today. Don't tell the government, but for doing a guitar repair.
I think they might be the only listener.
Right. That one IRS
Someone
dude
paid you
the half-empty bottle of.
Care to join me in a belt of scotch?
Oh, I was gonna say
9:30 in the morning. Yeah, but I haven't slept in days. Wait, you got a check as payment?
Yep.
So you also got your first bounced check.
The first one went through. It was the same dude, so
Homer J. Fong. Yeah.
Dong Fong.
Hey, get over here. Well, that's good. You're busy. You're getting checks.
Yeah.
Czech Republic over here.
Checked out.
Checked out. Checks mix.
And then, and we're going to the cabin this weekend, and we're gonna do some. You'll be there, man.
Yeah, that's true. I won't be able to partake in Saturday events till night unless you guys want to do a bunch of dangerous axe wielding and shit in the dark. Never stopped us before. That's right. Yeah. Well, that'll be fun. And then we've got Eric and I are going to a Tool show with our lovely sister.
Yes.
Mrs. Keely Marlowe.
Yeah, I had no idea that Steel Beans was opening for them. And I've been following that dude on Instagram for like a year.
Yeah, I've definitely seen him online before. Steel Beans is a dude who's like a one-man band. He strums a guitar with the same hand that he hits his snare drum with. And
yeah,
plays a drum kit.
Full drum rolls with one hand.
Yeah,
while
playing a
turning
guitar.
his whole body because he's playing a guitar at the same time, and he sings and does. He plays keyboard sometimes, all simultaneously. He's a fucking lunatic.
I wonder how much of a set this guy gets from a band like Tool when you open for them. I mean, is he going to get? How long before that gets old? I got to be honest. Can you watch that guy for 30 straight minutes?
I know from the videos I've seen, he gets pretty like psychedelic with a lot of his stuff. So it's definitely more of an artistic performance than just music.
Well, it's like
so I think that's kind of how he
just because you're tripping doesn't mean other people realize it. He's just doing his thing, getting all psychedelic. Like,
right,
where's the bathroom?
That's exactly
in this
the point
place,
of
man.
Doing it.
So there's a lot of facets to this being interesting and kind of unknown territory here. So that'll be cool.
Stoked.
Yeah, it's gonna be fucking fun, man. It's a quick dash down. Yeah. So I was gonna after work on Tuesday, right? I'm gonna come down to either of your places, whoever will have me, and then the show's only in Milwaukee from Green Bay, which is a very nice development as well. Comparatively, it's not like going all the way down to Chicago
for sure.
Yeah. Fucking awesome. Yeah, so that's cool. I'm getting married. That's something that happened.
Yeah.
Yes, in the off season here.
Woo! Dan did it.
Yeah, I did it. And
I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, it's
Pop the
Papadopoulos. So we were gonna get married at one place, and there were way too many red flags of how incompetent they were gonna be. So if you still stick with that venue after all those warning signs, it's totally a shame on us situation when the day of comes and everything gets fucked up. So we're not doing it at the Landmark anymore. We are doing the whole thing at the Ality Inn, which has a secret tunnel.
Right.
So the Philly fans don't hammer people. Right, exactly.
Philly fans are brutal, man.
Yeah, passionate fans. Fuck Philadelphia Flyers. There you go.
Philadelphia.
We haven't played them yet. Played them 3 times. This isn't a Red Wing podcast, but also doesn't matter if it
Philadelphia.
Is. Right. Yeah. So I've been in. I don't know how many people like hockey fans actually do this because it took me this long to do it. But being in like a 9-guy fantasy league is pretty damn fun, dude. It's different than I thought, and we're all learning on the fly because we're all fucking idiots. And I got the first draft pick just on the random draw. So I have Connor McDavid, and he really hasn't been Connor McDaviding for me.
No, you should have picked Draisaitl.
Well, that's not true. No, come on, dude. You have to pick McDavid. Okay, so in 3 games played, he still has 5 points. So whatever. I got Matthews too. I don't know how I got to do another.
That's crazy because he's got 2 hat tricks in a row.
Someone didn't pick Matthews. Someone didn't pick Matthews in the time it took me to go again.
You're right. You guys are idiots.
So he fell 9 spots. Yeah, right.
9?
But it's 9, dude.
What?
So Connor McDavid, Austin Matthews, Jack Eichel, Dylan Cousins, Matty Beniers, Jonathan Marchessault, Chris Kreider, Evgeny Kuznetsov, Riley Smith, Cale Makar, Petrangelo, Sean Dursey, Miro Heiskanen, Morgan Riley, Adam Fox, Alex DeBrincat, who's been killing it for me.
Yeah.
Andre Palat, Jonas Siegenthaler, which I picked up after our game against New Jersey because it was like nobody was going to grab him in this league of guys that I'm playing this stuff with. And he had like 3 assists in his first game. He's like a real sleeper D. It's shit like that. It's like, it's exciting to go down the free agent list and be like, nobody picked this guy up. You know, like obviously you have your top getters. Rupe Hintz. I mean, he had 76 points last year. Obviously, I'm going to pick him up because no one did.
Yeah.
But we all thought like idiots. We thought it was because it was like your first matchup started on a day that it was just that day. And then your next matchup was like a week from now. I didn't realize the matchups were the entire week long, which obviously is the only way that this is fun.
Yeah,
you have to set your lineup every day, and then you rack up points. And by the time you're done with the week, you know, like the last
because you have to do it based on who's playing each night of the week in real life.
And therein lies the rub, because somebody with a way different team-based roster than you, like let's say your team is only represented by fucking 13 teams out of 32 teams, right?
Yeah.
That the person you're playing might have guys who, not one guy who's on any of the teams.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So you have to diversify a little bit, but then also like I have 3 dudes from Vegas that are always going to get points when they do play. But you're if you have too many people playing at once on the same team, you're not getting enough points when they're off, when they're not playing.
Right. You're relying too heavily on one team.
Right. So therein lies problems with like on a day where the league only has 3 games, right? And there's dudes on all those teams on the waiver wire or in the free agent list. Well, you don't want to just willy-nilly pick people up just because the other guy you're about to drop isn't playing for a night. Because what if you don't get that guy back and he's better than the guy you just went and grabbed? You know, so there's all this little stuff that it's cool. And like gambling. I'm going with John Pfeiffer. That's it. Go with John Pfeiffer right now, and it's just like neck and neck. Like John's the commissioner of this league. You could tell that he did some homework. Yeah, but yeah, it's tough stuff. So you don't want to drop these guys, and there's room for one person on your IR. So I had to pick between like Andrei Svechnikov and Andrei Vasilevsky. You know, who do you keep on the IR until they come back? So it's tough shit like that too. So I recommend it to anybody who's got, you know, 30 seconds to 5 minutes a day to tinker with your phone, which we all do way more than that. I mean, porno.
I don't have time.
Eric Riley, check man, the check VAR. But it's been cool because having a couple Red Wing players. But speaking of Red Wing players, Andrew Kopp, excuse me, Andrew Kopp was just awarded a penalty shot in 2 consecutive games.
That's got to be a record, right?
I don't know, but then I thought, yeah, maybe it is, right? Because there, as of, and I couldn't get like the full updated stuff, but as of like 8 years ago, there had been about 1,100 penalty shots awarded in the history of the league, right? So would that indicate that somebody else has had the same thing? Vincent Lecavalier, for example, had 13 penalty shots in his career. While Pavel Bure had a few less, but scored on more. So he's like the all-time leading percentage guy. I think he scored on 7 out of the 11 he was awarded.
Well, that makes sense. Just the amount that you would get being Pavel Bure, you're already outskating everybody. Right. So the only thing left to do is trip his ass.
Yeah. And so there's got to be people who have the worst record. You know, someone who's been awarded 6 in his career and never scored on 1, or a
Right.
goalie who's faced 5 and got fucking scored on all of them, or the other way around. You know, there's no shortage of possible combinations for one of your fun little Sunday afternoon hockey statistics. But Andrew Kopp getting 2 in a row, or 1 in each consecutive game,
Right.
for 2 games and not scoring on either.
Yeah, see, that's got to be a record. Getting 2 back to back
Yeah.
and not scoring on either of them.
And it was, at least he got that other goal in that game. But I don't think
Evan said
he's just not
the
much
record for one player is 3 penalty shots in one season, but I don't think those would be consecutive.
No. That's what you
No.
mean? So one player has only got 3 penalty shots awarded to them in one season. It's got to be different for the receiving end then, because and it's
It
Pavel
was
Bure.
Pavel
Look at
Bure.
that. A goaltender. I wonder if there's a goalie out there who's faced more than 3 in a season.
Oh, probably.
We'll see. I know Dominic Hasek has faced 4 in the fucking playoffs alone.
That's insane.
Yeah, and he saved all but 1.
So
it's funny to see.
Several goaltenders have faced multiple in one game.
Really?
4 different goaltenders have faced 2 in one game. But that's the most in one game ever. Careers wise, let's see, Marc-Andre Fleury faced 15, and stopped 15 in his career.
Wow.
But yeah, it's
You're
trying to
more
find one
likely
where
as a goalie to face it because that's all you do.
Right.
There's plenty of players on the ice that won't get the opportunity to get tripped on a breakaway and therefore receive. You know, a goalie's going to be the guy who stops it. But like, I remember 1 or 2 seasons where Jimmy Howard had faced a handful and was doing really well, like stopped all of them too. So, you know, there's no shortage of possibilities. But the penalty shot has evolved throughout its history in the NHL. And it was like 1933 or something like that when it was introduced. And apparently it was because of all the sports leagues during the Great Depression faced, you know, problematic revenue builders, things in the way of building revenue. Famously, with baseball, there were people who were so hardcore baseball fans that they wouldn't miss a home game in whatever city they lived in, and the only thing they'd eat all day was the nickel hot dog at the game. Like that was your one meal because you couldn't give up spending the money on the ticket, you know. But let's face it, most people aren't like that person. So how do you get casual fans during the worst depression in, you know, civilized world history, economic depression, that is? So they came up with the penalty shot, but they had, you know, this is a time when like the puck didn't really leave the surface of the ice much, lots of different shit. And the original penalty shot had a spot on the ice that was painted. It was a 10-foot diameter circle, and it was 38 feet away from the goal mouth.
Wait, so was this like soccer?
Yes, but it was hockey.
Where could you leave that circle?
No, you could not leave the circle. Right.
Really? That's funny.
So players did anything from obviously just standing still and ripping a hardest slap shot they could to moving from the back of the circle to the front of the circle. And there were even cases of guys getting up a little bit of steam by skating around the circle, you know, 5 or 6 times and then trying to fool the goalie, but it was the goalie had a massive advantage.
Yeah, that's absurd.
Right. This was the
Good.
same. This was like that's the baseball equivalent of before they ruled that every time a ball touched the ground, you used a new baseball, because that never used to be that way in baseball either. It was the fucking thing was beat to shit, and the pitcher had all these special ways to throw this beat up fucking ball.
Right.
And back in those days, if you got like 15 home runs in a season, you were legendary, you know, because it was so hard to hit. Well, this is the same thing for goalies in that era. And, you know, if there's one way to give a goalie an advantage in an era where you were called a giant pussy if you even considered like looking at a mask, let
Right.
alone wearing one, yeah, you had a little bit of an advantage as a goaltender in the original penalty shot era. But then they changed it a little bit. You know, they brought the line, or the mark with the circle. They got rid of the circle. So like you could move side to side more, but there was actually a red line like 25 feet out from the goal mouth, like an extra red line painted on the ice between the far end goal line and the blue line in the same zone. You had another red line, and that was just for in the extremely rare event of a penalty shot. That's the line you can't go over, right? So then finally during World War II, they changed the rules to where you could have a one-on-one scenario. And that was like finally what they'd been working toward all those years, but for whatever reason couldn't come to agreement on or couldn't figure out. Was a complete uninhibited breakaway style situation that could bring fans out of their seats, you know, and
Right.
potentially break a game. So with that ever growing and ever evolving location on where you would start or where you would take the shot from, there also evolved all the different ways in which penalty shot would be awarded. And I had no idea, but looking up, I have the situations that result in a penalty shot chapter of the NHL rule book here. There are 25 scenarios that can result in a penalty shot. 25,
Really?
dude. Yeah. Like,
What?
yeah,
What
I know.
could they
Like,
be besides the obvious ones?
well, there's like 5 of them that actually are if you do these infractions during a penalty shot, it results in another penalty shot. So yeah, that's like 5 or 6 of them are that. You know, if you're already taking the damn penalty shot, and here's one: obstacle or snow intentionally piled near goal. So like imagine if the scenario, which most likely it happened because that's how most rules and laws come about.
Yeah.
Somebody did something ridiculous and they had to be like, "Nah, we have to write that down. You can't do that."
Oh, I remember.
So,
It was like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Marc-Andre Fleury got caught doing that before they pulled him for an extra attacker.
what was he doing?
He skated down back toward the net, and he went down on one knee and took his stick and scraped snow for like 15 feet up to the crease, and then just left it and skated back to the bench.
Hey, that's genius. Yeah, that might catch an empty netter on the way down, right?
Right, you never know.
So, all right, well, there you go. That's why. Okay, here. So yeah, obstacle or snow. A penalty shot is awarded when a goaltender piles snow or other obstacles at or near the net, and any such snow or obstacle prevents a goal while the offending team's goaltender is legally on the ice.
Think about what an obstacle could be.
Yeah,
Like a pad, as he put
that
his glove down there in the
that
corner.
nickel hot dog that someone threw on the
Right.
damn ice. So here's a during a penalty shot infraction that can result in a penalty shot. which would be interesting. A goaltender accidentally, really? Why would it ever? So if the goalie accidentally dislodges the goal, so in that sense, if it's accidentally, that means like you make a really hard left to right, let's say butterfly save. You do the splits, and you kick the fucking net off its moorings, and you make the save. Then that results in another penalty shot.
I can see that because deliberately pushing the net off, I'm pretty sure counts as a goal automatically.
Yeah, if it's a penalty shot already, that's right. Like if you trip someone on the way to scoring a breakaway on an empty net, it's just an automatic goal. If you throw your stick in that same scenario, so a lot of these are like throwing stick. Here's one, results in a penalty shot. 2 minutes or less remaining, refusing to start play. A penalty shot is awarded if, during the last 2 minutes of regular time or at any time in overtime, a team that has withdrawn from the rink refuses to start play when initially directed to do so by the referee. Like, what would that look like?
Yeah, in what case does that happen?
Here's another one. 2 minutes remaining, so only 2 minutes or less. Goaltender deliberately removes mandatory protective equipment.
It just starts stripping down right then and there in the crease.
If there's 2 minutes left or less, and someone did that Peter Mrazek, Marc-Andre Fleury helmet flops off thing,
the shake,
bam, penalty shot.
Huh.
Or like the old Osgood exploding mask technique when you needed a free timeout after an icing or something.
Yeah, you keep that snap halfway on.
Yeah, man.
Can you imagine? So you're telling me that I can't go and take a shot on a goalie that's only wearing his jockstrap?
Yes, in the scenario that he did not come out and start the game in that jockstrap alone.
Oh, okay.
He had to strip down to it.
But
only
if
with 2 minutes left.
Down in the last 2 minutes, we got to stop play, and I can't rip a slap shot at him.
I think you should have to. The rule should be you
have to shoot.
Get a penalty shot if you don't take your hardest shot at the naked
goalie. Yeah, for sure. Okay, we're on the same page.
Yeah, and then here's a good one too. Opponent on a breakaway. Defending player loses protective equipment and cannot replace it or leave ice due to injury. A penalty shot is awarded if play is stopped because a player is unable to replace a lost helmet or facial protector or throat protector, or go to the player's bench because of injury, while an opponent is on a breakaway and the puck is in the neutral zone or the puck carrier's like.
Wow.
These are so fucking specific that they almost certainly would never happen. A buzzer sounds prematurely while player is on a breakaway.
Okay,
so
I feel like that's happened before.
Accidentally hits the buzzer button with 5 seconds left and he's on a breakaway, suddenly
then you get a penalty shot.
That is the defending team's problem. But I guess you got to make it fair, Right. So a lot of this is like ref.
It has nothing to do with the defending team.
Like rink management error.
It's completely circumstantial.
Yeah, this is some wild stuff, man. So, I don't know how many penalty shots we'll see this year. Regardless of how many are awarded, wildly 33% success rate has been the consistent number throughout the history of the penalty shot. And it can go up and down all year to year to year.
Out there.
It just stays at 33% of shots are, successful. They find twine, as they say. So we found twine. You found twine. and a bug
So
just
what?
flew up my fucking nose. Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
All right. Talk to you later.
Yeah. Over and